1988 Grey Cup at Ottawa's Lansdowne Park. And here's Don Whitman with Ron Lancaster.
And the ball will now be moved back to the 30-yard line. So in effect, this is the third kickoff attempt for Lou Pasaglia. The first prior to time being signaled in, and the second attempt, the ball going out of bounds. So he will now move back to the 30-yard line to get this 1988 Grey Cup game underway. This time the ball bounces to Jefferson at the 10-yard line. Winnipeg wanted to start the game with a good return, and they got it. Jan Carinci taking Jefferson out of bounds up at the 40-yard line. A run back of 32 yards.
That's a big return for Winnipeg. They needed that to get out of that deep end. This is the man. Now, he'd love to get a running game going. Salisbury, Jesse, and Johns. Johns, a tremendous blocker, going to get a big test now. We've talked about the receivers. Buster Rhymes has made a big play in the last of the two ball games, and this is the offensive line that's got to get them and hold them at bay for them to run the football in this first quarter.
I think Salisbury will attempt to do in this game what he did against Toronto, get rid of that ball quickly, although he rolls out on his first passing attempt, throws complete to James Murphy, and Murphy is brought down at the 51-yard line, stopped by Keith Gooch. That should be a first down.
Also a little bit of a surprise because of the fact that he rolled outside. He didn't move the pocket. There's that defensive line. Now when he rolls out, they're going to have to contend with that defensive line, especially the outside linebackers. Stuman and Konar are going to have to watch the rollout. In the secondary, they're excellent one-on-one covers, but if you get outside and get time, Murphy will beat you again.
Winnipeg first and 10. The ball is at the 51-yard line. Tony Johns, the ball carrier, with a gain of about 3 yards, stopped by Kevin Konar. I don't think Winnipeg is going to have a great deal of success running against this BC Lion defense.
That's the whole story. You know, we gave the edge to the Lions as far as running the football, and the reason is that defensive front. You know, we talk about Greg Stuman being a linebacker, but he moves all over, so really they have 5 defensive linemen, and they're all good ones.
Second and 8, Winnipeg. The ball is at the 53-yard line. 13:27 remaining in this opening quarter. Salisbury to Randy Fabie, incomplete.
Don, you could see that coming when they sent a guy in motion across. They came out, Braswell came all the way out of the middle to cover him. That's a giveaway key, a man-to-man defense. Fabie tried to come underneath it and couldn't catch the football because the wind knocked it down.
And now we're going to see Bob Cameron attempt to kick into that wind. Many regard Cameron as the best bad weather kicker in the entire CFL. And in pregame warm-up, he was having difficulties kicking into that very strong wind. Wiseman and Carinci are back, but they are only standing at their 30-yard line. Ball takes a good bounce for Winnipeg, and Carinci is stopped almost immediately at the 24.
That's just about as far as you can kick it into that wind, but it still isn't in bad position for that man, Matt Dunnigan. You know, this is the guy everybody says you have to stop. It's probably true, but if you try to stop Dunnigan too much, you're going to open up the middle for those two guys that can run the football. Tony Cherry and Anthony Parker averaging 6 yards each. Each rushed for over 800 yards this year. Excellent set of receivers. Jan Carinci at 210. They like him in there for his blocking. And up front, that's a big, strong offensive line.
Williams wide to the left. Cherry takes the ball and picks up a couple of yards as Winnipeg's Aaron Brown is there to make the tackle from his linebacking position with help from Ramel Andrews. And Fillings running high very early in this football game, pushing and shoving on the opening kickoff, and it continues on that offensive series by the BC Lions.
Well, emotions always run high at the beginning of a big football game. It'll settle down in the next couple minutes. That was the first chance for these two defense and offensive lines to get together. In a couple minutes, the emotions will go away and the talent comes forth. And you just got to try to get through without getting a penalty. But that defense of Winnipeg, we're anxious to see how they're going to try to contain this offense of the Lions.
Second and 8. Dunnigan dropping back, trying to set up the screen. It's incomplete. Winnipeg was pressuring him. Mike Gray and Benny Thompson coming on a safety blitz. Forced Dunnigan to dump it off before he wanted to, and he couldn't get that man open on the attempted screen.
Yeah, you love to throw a screen pass. Now you got to stop, give some ground, but the safety blitz is coming. He's unblocked. You don't get the time that you would like. And then Michael Gray, who we've talked about the last few weeks, has played outstanding football for the Bombers. They get that kind of pressure. You can contain anybody.
Well, Winnipeg felt that they would have to go after Dunnigan and go after him early in this ball game if they were going to have any success. Lou Pasaglia punting with the win. Ken Petway and Paul Shorten are back. Excellent kick by Pasaglia. Shorten takes it at the 28-yard line. And Shorten is stopped almost immediately at the 33 by Peter Vandenbos. Our CBC television game day coaches from 1987 in a position they much prefer for 1988, directing their respective teams in this Grey Cup championship, Mike Riley and Larry Donovan. 1st and 10 Winnipeg. The ball is at the 33-yard line. 11:44 remaining in this opening quarter. Salisbury gets away from the initial pressure, trying to throw deep. Murphy makes the catch.
That's what you call a steal. He threw that ball to Rhymes, who was wide open. I'm sorry, to Johns down the sideline. What happened is Murphy just said the heck with it, and when that ball's in the air, he went and got it. That's a good play. You see the bump coverage right up on top of him. You call it bump coverage. Give him a hit, run with him right in his hip pocket. He runs the curl. Now Tony Johns is going out and down the sidelines, and he is open. He is behind him. But watch this. He just goes and gets it. That's a good effort.
A gain of 40 yards on that reception by James Murphy between Francis and Ryan. Brian Bellway is there, and he brings down Tony Johns before he got to the line of scrimmage. There'll be a loss of about a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
Well, you go back one play. That was an excellent effort by Salisbury. You know, they keep talking about Dunnigan has the ability to run around, but Salisbury showed that he can get out of trouble and turn it into a big play.
Murphy goes wide to the left. It will be 2nd and 12, Winnipeg. BC showing blitz. Salisbury rolling out of there. Throwing deep, looking for Rhymes, and it's incomplete. Covered by Anthony Drawhorn.
A little bit of what coaches call a dash. Drop the quarterback back in the pocket, then rolling to one side or the other to get away from pressure. He had the man-to-man coverage that he wanted downfield, but the wind didn't allow the ball to go there.
10:13 remains in this opening quarter. Bob Cameron will again be punting into the wind. Only one man so far has dropped back with the BC Lions. That is Anthony Drawhorn. This is a somewhat similar formation that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers used last week against the Toronto Argonauts when kicking against the wind. A spread punt formation. A low snap to Cameron. He gets away. An excellent kick into the wind. Drawhorn retreats into the end zone, and he's down for a single point.
All during pregame warm-up, Cameron was kicking from closer than that particular punt. He couldn't reach the end zone. But as we said many times, he's the best kicker there is against the wind.
42 yards, the length of that Bob Cameron punt, as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are first on the board. 9:46 remains in this opening quarter. The BC Lions will scrimmage 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Matt Dunnigan's 2 previous Grey Cup appearances were with the Edmonton Eskimos. Dunnigan fakes. He's going to try and run with the football. He completes the pass up to the 42-yard line.
Winnipeg's upset. They felt he was in the grasp and down. That was a heck of an effort by Dunnigan. He wanted to throw it outside. Then he looked like he was going to escape, and he was going down. Watch it. He stands up, fakes that. Now he drops back, looks to run, gets tripped up by Fears, and now watch this. Fowler grabs him, and just as he's hitting the ground, he throws the ball completed. Now you want to argue his knee is down, you can do that, but the referee allows you to throw the football as a quarterback if you want to take the chance on getting hurt.
Hand off to Anthony Parker, and Parker gets across midfield to the Winnipeg 54, stopped by Benny Thompson.
Well, everybody talks about Cherry so much, but this time it's the big man inside, Anthony Parker. Coach Donovan says you can't stop us both places. Look at this. Right in behind Jamie Buis in the center, Ian St. Clair right into the secondary, and 215 pounds, picks up good yards.
Tony Cherry is tripped up in the backfield. Before he even got on track, James West had penetrated to make the play.
You must penetrate to stop a running game. Don't sit on the line of scrimmage. The offensive line will win the battle. You get across it and cause commotion and confusion, and that's what they did.
A loss of 1. It is 2nd and 11. BC Lions going with the wind. Quarterback draw. Matt Dunnigan running it out of there for a big first down to the Winnipeg 37-yard line. Stopped by Ken Petway and Benny Thompson.
Well, that was a well-run play. A good job. Watch him take the 3 steps back. Look at the lineman. Gerald Roper, 65. They go make the block. He'll cut right in behind it into the open ground. Made the first down now. Hit the deck. Saves wear and tear on the body.
Dunnigan throwing over the middle to Scott Leckie inside the 30-yard line. There's a penalty flag on the play.
Yeah, we're going to get a roughing the passer call, I believe. 52.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Winnipeg number 52.
The call goes against Winnipeg's Mike Gray. Mike Gray had a roughing the passer call last week in a crucial situation in that Eastern Final win over the Toronto Argonauts.
See, the ball's gone now. You can't come in and hit him. You have to call that. Well, that hurts a quarterback. Or anybody else for that matter, Don.
Well, with the aid of that penalty, the BC Lions will have a first down. The ball is at the Winnipeg 14-yard line. This has been a good drive by the Lions. It started at their own 35. Dunnigan on the reverse to Cherry. He'll score.
This is a version of a Statue of Liberty, Don. Instead of standing out and hold it, you just go back and pump fake the pass and then hand off to Cherry. Watch this. Dunnigan comes back. A little bit of a pump. Now hand it off. Now get outside of it. Picks up a good block. Outruns this one. There's the block that makes it, and then it's just running there on. Petway couldn't get him, and he goes into the end zone standing up.
The BC Lions with Parker and Cherry have the ability to hurt you with that running game inside or outside. And that time Cherry to the outside for the touchdown that has put the Lions ahead with Lou Pasaglia attempting the point after. He puts it through, and with 7:17 remaining in this opening quarter, the BC Lions lead by 6. This kickoff was taken by Buster Rhymes at the 8-yard line. Rhymes looking for a block. Scott Leckie manages to hang on and bring Rhymes down at the 28-yard line.
On that particular kickoff, Don, the BC Lions had more of their people to our side, this side of the field. They were going to kick it over here. That ball went down the middle and almost caused them some problems.
John Salisbury, in the 4 games between Winnipeg and BC this year, did not play. So this is his first experience in facing a very aggressive BC defensive unit. That aggressive style has been a BC trademark for the last few seasons. More so perhaps under Don Matthews than under Larry Donovan as the head coach. Sideline pattern intended for Winey. He was being covered by Andre Francis. It will be 2nd and 10 Winnipeg.
Well, Andre Francis, we talked about him in our opening as far as one-on-one coverage goes. He's also been the leader back there since Larry Crawford went out with that injury a few years ago. They got 2 good corners, both at 7 interceptions on the year. But watch the ball. It was tipped just a little bit. I think Kevin Konar got a hand on it and caused it to wobble, and then he was there to finish it off. Good coverage, good defense.
2nd and 10 Winnipeg from the 27-yard line. Appeared to be premature movement at the line of scrimmage. The pass complete to Tim Jesse. He is caught immediately by Jeff Braswell. It appears to be an offside charge against BC, and it's confirmed by referee John Ireland. So it will be 2nd and 5.
Don, anytime you see Jeff Braswell make a tackle on a back like Tim Jesse out at the sidelines, that tells you it's man-to-man coverage, because he should never be out there if it isn't.
Second and 5, Winnipeg. Buster Rhymes takes the throw from Salisbury for a first down out to the 42-yard line, forced out of bounds by Andre Francis.
Well, we said in the opening, Salisbury needs time. He's going to try to throw the ball short. A short passing game is his way of controlling the football. The Lions want to run. He's going to control it through the air. And you would figure going against the wind, he would run a little bit, but he's able to throw the ball because he's got a tremendously strong arm.
Buster Rhymes made his CFL debut against the BC Lions. Screen pass to Tony Johns. First down to the BC 53-yard line, tackled there by Stuman.
Well executed by the Bombers. We're going to take a look at it from the reverse camera. Salisbury's going to make the fake, come out like bootleg action. Now get the pressure, dump it underneath, and look at the number of blue jerseys around him. Make the blocks, get him into the secondary, let him run. That's good offensive football.
From the reverse angle camera to live action. First and 10, Winnipeg. Salisbury rolling out of there to the sidelines, and it's almost intercepted. Drawhorn thought he had stolen that ball away from Faby, but Salisbury almost collided with his offensive lineman, Nick Mastaya, out in front trying to protect him.
That's that dash pattern. Now he drops, now he rolls. They bring Mastaya out. They get Parker to the inside, but he has to block Konar, and he gets in the quarterback's way. Now the wind is playing tricks with it, and Drawhorn almost gets it.
I think Randy Faby did an excellent job, as we saw in the replay, of taking the ball away from Drawhorn. Incomplete. A juggling act as that ball went off 3 pair of hands and finally fell to the artificial turf here at Lansdowne Park.
Keith Gooch fell down, so the receiver was wide open, and then when he tipped the football, it almost landed in his hands. Watch this. The receiver is wide open. He catches this ball, he may score, but it tips off here, up in the air, and then it looks like Marcus Thomas is going to take it, and it falls harmlessly to the ground.
4:45 is the time remaining in this opening quarter. 7-1, the BC Lions lead. The Bob Cameron punt is taken by Todd Wiseman, and he won't go anywhere. Stopped immediately at the 27-yard line by Benny Thompson.
Bummer linebacker Aaron Brown may feel lucky. When he ran into the field for his pregame introduction, he lost a contact lens. Amazingly, 2 minutes before kickoff, Ken Haley found it. Brown's avoiding double vision. Steve?
Scott, the play that gave the BC Lions their touchdown was one they have just put into the playbook this week. I talked to Gerald Roper about it, and he said it's the old Statue of Liberty. It worked. Don?
And that's the way Ron Lancaster described it, a version of the Statue of Liberty, the touchdown run by Tony Cherry that has the Lions in front by a score of 7-1. BC first and 10. The Lions are at their own 28-yard line. Tony Parker inside, and he'll have a gain of 4, maybe 5 yards. He is met there by 5 Winnipeg Blue Bombers, led by James West.
Jamie Terrace, number 23, second-year man from Western Ontario, came in at slot back on first down for Scott Leckie. So when he does that, we're going to look for the run because he's 230 pounds.
The BC Lions going with that hurry-up offense early. Dunnigan dumping it off, incomplete. He was looking for Parker, and the Lions will be forced to kick.
Unbelievable, Don. Both teams doing a little bit of the same thing. They're looking for the man-to-man coverage, and then they're trying to get their remaining back. In this case, Parker. James West has to cover him from the inside backer position. You see, he's not real close. Same thing's going on with Braswell and Jesse, so it's very interesting, the two theories of this game.
These teams opened the season on July 12th at BC Place Stadium with the Lions winning 36-3. They met 4 times during regular season play. Each side won 2 games. Winnipeg winning both games at home. The Lions winning their 2 games at home. Good high kick by Pasaglia. Shorten takes it at his own 24-yard line. And Shorten is stopped at the 30. Jamie Buis and Peter Vandenbos were downfield following that 55-yard kick by Lou Pasaglia, restricting the return by Paul Shorten to 7 yards.
It's not a bad quote, being here for a business trip. You know, everybody else comes to the Grey Cup to have fun. I always thought when you played in Grey Cup games, everybody thought it was important. When you're not in them and you come to have the festivities, and they've been great here in Ottawa, you know, you realize that the only ones it is business to is the players on the field. So that's a great quote.
Well, for Sean Salisbury, playing at a major school such as he did, USC, every game was, I suppose, somewhat similar to a Grey Cup contest. That appeared to be a mix-up, and Salisbury is dropped for a loss. Kevin Konar brought down the Winnipeg quarterback and took his helmet off at the same time. Well, that could have been an audible that someone missed the signal on.
I don't think they can hear him down there very well. The noise is really tremendous down there. You see all the receivers looking around. You know this. They didn't put a running play in like that for Sean Salisbury. If they're going to run the quarterback, they're going to have somebody blocking for him.
Second and 12, Winnipeg. The Bombers back at their own 29-yard line. BC indicating that they are going to blitz, and I think this one is going to be called for taking too much time, as Salisbury seems to be having some problems figuring out that BC defense.
Time count violation. Winnipeg number 12. Still second down.
On the first down, you're right, Don. They were in a defense. He didn't like what he had called. He wanted the audible. It didn't work this time. They fooled him completely. He didn't get the play off in 20 seconds. Rick Ryan kept running back and forth on him, and I don't know whether it bothered him, but it caused him to use up his time.
Second and 17, Winnipeg. The Bombers at their own 24-yard line. James Murphy makes the catch. He's still going. Murphy has feasted on BC defensive coverages in 3 games this year. None better than this, 72 yards.
An excellent read by quarterback Sean Salisbury. Put 3 receivers to the left. Drawhorn goes over. He comes to the post of Murphy. And they always talk about Murphy's not just a great receiver, but he's an excellent runner. And we saw a great example of that. That's super.
First and 10 from the 15-yard line. They try to swing it to Tim Jesse coming out of the backfield. It will be second and 10. At the start of our telecast, Ron, you talked about game breakers. Well, James Murphy has made 2 very big plays for the Blue Bombers in this opening quarter.
Well, you know when you have a guy like that, you're going to get the football in his hands anytime you can. Quarterback made the great read on it. This particular play was a slip screen or a running screen, whatever you want to call it. Didn't work. But, boy, I'll tell you, you better know where Murphy's at. They better pay attention to him because he could be looking for him again.
In 3 regular season games against the Lions this year, Murphy caught 23 passes. Salisbury throwing into the end zone, looking for Randy Faby, incomplete. Faby got turned around as he was attempting to run his pattern.
Well, you get that close coverage, close man-to-man coverage that's downfield by Marcus Thomas on him. He comes off, tries to force inside. Thomas wouldn't let him in there. Then when he goes back, you're going to have that happen to him. And Salisbury, what I liked is he come and pumped to the right, and then he went back and laid it up.
This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt by Trevor Kennard. Remember, he is kicking into that strong wind. This one is good. With 59 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, on the strength of a fine reception by James Murphy for 72 yards, reduce the deficit to 3 points.
Here's to the everyday things that end up being everything. Here's to all things simple, with casual clothing and footwear from Marks.
And operating against the wind for the first time in the ball game, Matt Dunnigan brings the BC Lions up over the ball at the 43-yard line. Here's the handoff on the reverse to Cherry, and Cherry is unable to get outside this time. with Ramel Andrews tracking him down. Andrews had such a big game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in that Eastern final against the Toronto Argonauts. He was inserted in the lineup as the result of an injury to linebacker Greg Battle.
Well, you see coming around the corner leading Cherry, you see the block there, but Jamie Buis tries to get outside, but the only way he can help him is for Cherry to get out there. They didn't allow him out there.
Andrews will line up on occasion at a linebacker position. He'll also move into a down lineman set. That's where he is now. Well over the head of the intended receiver, Eric Streeter. They were attempting that hitch screen to Streeter, and the ball sailed well over his head. Safety Benny Thompson was blitzing from the backside.
Yeah, on those, you know you're going to throw the ball quick, so you better get rid of it because we don't want the blocking. Now, we saw Salisbury handle the wind in the first quarter. I thought he did an excellent job. They had the ball for 9 minutes, and they're only trailing by 3. Dunnigan has yet to throw it downfield, so we'll see how he can do it in the second quarter.
And we'll see now how Lou Pasaglia handles that strong wind. His first quarter average, of course, was with the wind. Winnipeg was going after it. Rod Hill almost got to it. The ball takes a good bounce, and Petway at the 30-yard line is back to the 32-yard line.
We talk about special teams. You see Rod Hill coming from that outside. He almost got to it again. You know, when you get Hatsanoa, number 44, inside, Hill outside, that puts the pressure on that back. He's got to make a decision. Sometimes he hesitates, doesn't get either one of them.
Rod Hill has his own cheering section here at the Grey Cup game. 14 members of his family came up from Detroit to take in this Grey Cup encounter. Tim Jesse, the handoff, stopped at the 35-yard line by Jeff Braswell.
That's the job. We talk about Braswell at the beginning. This is his job. Middle linebacker, make the tackles between tackle to tackle area. Watch it. Now he makes his read. Now he's got to be there. Get in there and make the hit. Good job.
Second and 8. Salisbury to Tony Johns. He gets the first down as he broke away from Stuman and fought his way up close to the midfield stripe.
You got a good look at why he did that. 220 pounds. That's what it is. Greg Stuman had a run at him, but at 220 pounds, he bounced right off of him. Looks downfield, goes to a second read outside. Good contact, but you didn't hold on to him. That's strength.
Thomas finally took Tony Johns out of bounds, but not before he got to the 53-yard line. First and 10, Winnipeg. The second man through, Tim Jesse, drives to the 50 of the Lions. Stopped there by Kevin Konar. Tony Johns was the lead block, and he took Jesse up to the 50 as Winnipeg now operates from the quick offensive set. Randy Faby makes the catch for another Winnipeg first down.
Boy, made an excellent read on that particular pattern. Whatever side Jeff Braswell goes to, you go the other way. He went the other way and bang, found Randy Faby all by himself. As we said, give him time. Let him look around. Let him throw the football. Make the play.
Without the benefit of a huddle again from the 38-yard line, Tony Johns loses the football, but the whistle apparently had gone. James Parker made the initial contact with help from Stuman. The ball bounced away from Tony Johns, but the whistle had gone.
Take a look at it. It's just a straight dive. Tony Johns hit straight ahead. There goes the ball. Well, I'll tell you, pretty close to being a fumble.
Salisbury trying to pick out Randy Faby in the clear. He delivered the ball, but Faby couldn't hang on with Keith Gooch coming up on his back.
You know, every now and then you use that hurry-up offense just so that all the teams take their signals from the sideline. This forces them to maybe stay in the same defense they were in. Now, when you go to the sidelines, they're going to have to talk it over if you're the BC Lions and have one quick signal to change it. Otherwise, they're going to force you to stay in a defense maybe you don't want to stay in for 2 plays in a row or you get hurt.
Trevor Kennard hit a 22-yard field goal attempt in the opening quarter. He'll try and tie it now from 43 yards out. It's good. So with 10:20 remaining in the opening half at Lansdowne Park, the score is tied at 7. Williams makes his first reception of the game for a first down. Named the outstanding player in the CFL and the winner of the Shenley Award on Friday night.
Well, we've seen both quarterbacks take advantage of making the right read. Well, watch Williams. Plant, slant, here comes the football. No underneath coverage, one-on-one. You should win that every time Dunnigan hits him.
9:34 remaining in the half. First and 10 BC. The Lions are at their own 47-yard line. Parker trying to break a couple of tackles. He can't get away from middle linebacker Aaron Brown. The score tied at 7. Matt Dunnigan watching the man pile and getting set to call his second down play. It will be 2nd and 5 BC.
You know, Don, all week they were asking me about that 1967 Grey Cup here in Ottawa, how cold it was. Eagle Keys was our coach then. He retired last week. I just want to say hello to him, and he's got his golf handicap down to 6. Eagle, it's a lot better weather today than it was back in 1967.
The weather didn't concern Eagle as much in 1967 as the final result. Tony Cherry bounced away from that big hit by the safety, Benny Thompson, and converted what should have been a loss into a gain of almost 5 yards.
He can't believe it. He's just shaking his head. Benny Thompson cannot believe this. Watch him. Here comes number 37. We said he's built like a fireplug. He takes the hit, bounces away from him, and takes off, and he's going to force a measurement for the first down. That is just great effort and balance. So they say 5'7" and about 185 pounds. Got the big legs, and he can take those hits, as we saw.
Tremendous drive in those legs of Tony Cherry as he manages to pick up the first down as signaled by referee Jake Ireland. Well, it started out with some rain this morning, then the skies cleared and we had sunshine bathing the nation's capital. But as the sun sets, we see the clouds moving in again. Hopefully there is no precipitation up there. Dunnigan on that quarterback draw. He ran it successfully in the opening quarter. He gets almost 10 again. That's a play that Dunnigan used very successfully earlier in the year. He more or less went away from it late in the season with Parker and Cherry running the ball.
Well, I think now that they don't worry about him running as much, that's the time he's going to go back to it. You know, once again, Jamie Terrace is having a battle with somebody down there. Every play, they got him in there for blocking purposes, and he's getting the job done.
The pitch to Cherry. Cherry had to reach back to take the ball, but now he's heading up the field. First down, BC. What a fine running display by Tony Cherry.
This is a play the BC Lions love to run. They just toss the ball outside to Cherry and let him run behind the blocking. Here comes the pitch. Now he's looking for somewhere to cut. Wasn't a great pitch. He cuts back in. You see the block 23, Jamie Terrace on 76 Andrews. He cuts way back to the inside, and then he just uses his eyes to find the hole.
First and 10 for the BC Lions. Dunnigan throwing for Williams. It's over his head. 2nd and 10 BC.
Got pretty good distance on that throw for throwing it right into the teeth of the wind. You got to do that. You got to let those defensive backs know that even though I'm throwing into it, I'm going to throw deep, so don't be cheating.
Williams equaled Brian Kelly's record this year with 18 touchdown receptions. Lou Pisaglia getting set over on the BC bench. Should Dunnigan be unsuccessful in converting this 2nd and 10 play with 6:46 remaining in the opening half. It's complete. An easy touchdown for Williams. Dunnigan and Williams made that one look easy.
Like it had eyes. It went right between 4 blue jerseys, right to number 2. Once he made the catch, turned upfield, there was nobody left. That's an excellent throw on Dunnigan's part.
He just coasted into the end zone from about 7 yards out after making that reception on a perfect Matt Dunnigan strike. And now Lou Pisaglia will attempt the point after from the hold of Jan Karinci. And it is good. So the BC Lions lead by 7, and we'll be back with the BC kickoff after this. Winnipeg 1st and 10. They are scrimmaging from their own 46-yard line. 6:33 remaining in the first half. The BC Lions leading by a score of 14-7. Off to Tim Jesse, and Jesse struggles out across the 50, stopped at about the 53-yard line.
Good job. Start to the wide side of the field. It's that counter play. Hand it to Jesse. Nick Vistaya pulls from his left guard position, traps out, and bang, get right in behind it. That's 7 yards.
The Bombers again operating without benefit of a huddle. 2nd and 3. Salisbury to throw. That ball is deflected but still caught. James Murphy coming back to the quarterback, managed to make the catch after it had been deflected at the line of scrimmage.
When you deflect it, sometimes you get a little lucky. If you're on Winnipeg, that ball hits the back of the football and it just goes end over end. Murphy's running a stop. Now come back to the football. Even though the ball's tipped, he continues back and makes the catch.
Winnipeg 1st and 10 from the 50 of the BC Lions. Again, the pass is deflected as Salisbury let it go. There's also a penalty flag on the play. It appears as though it will be an interference call against the BC Lions.
Didn't have to hit him. The ball was on the ground. The play was over. You don't have to hit the ball carrier. We said Braswell sometimes is a little too over-aggressive. We see an example of it.
Unnecessary roughness. BC number 44. First down.
That was on the receiver downfield after the ball had been deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, now the ball is on the ground. He doesn't have it. You don't come in and hit him after that, and a referee call him. Good call.
James Murphy, he'll score. Talked again, as we said at the start of the telecast, about potential game breakers. Murphy's done his job, so has David Williams.
Ran a post pattern. 14 yards down the field, go to the inside. By 14 yards, it clears out in there. He comes in under Gooch, and then Ryan misses the tackle, and he goes in, no problem.
Trevor Kenner attempting once again to put the Bombers back on even terms. He does. 5:14 is the time remaining in the first half. The Blue Bombers and the BC Lions all even at 14. James Murphy, 3 catches this afternoon. That one for the touchdown. He has a total of 147 yards.
They're moving the football. And you see with Murphy, we talk about him being a running back. He just stepped right around the tackle of Ryan. Now, Buster Rhymes clears it out. He gets number 29, Marcus Thomas, out of the way. There goes Murphy right inside. 8, Ryan misses the tackle. Then it's no contest. He'll just jog in from there.
Well, we talked about the drama and the excitement of the 1987 Grey Cup game. This one, so far, has been every bit as entertaining.
Every bit. They're 2 good football teams. They're excellent football teams. And everybody figured it's going to be close. And that deferment at the beginning of the game by the Blue Bombers may be a big, big decision when we get to quarter number 4.
Trevor Kenner kicking off for Winnipeg. Drawhorn starts out from the 10-yard line. He picks up a couple of blocks. This is an excellent return. To the 41-yard line.
James Jefferson did just what James Jefferson's supposed to do. Stay outside. Had he got outside him, he had the sideline. Jefferson forced him in.
32 yards on the return. 5:04 remaining in this first half, and James Murphy has reason to smile as he celebrates that touchdown as we look at Anthony Drawhorn on the kickoff return.
Now all of a sudden Jefferson standing right out here. That's his job. Keep him to the inside. Saves a big return.
Donegan forced out of the pocket, gets away from the initial contact. and runs it back to the 45-yard line. It appeared as though he was going to be dropped for a big loss. The initial pressure by Ramel Andrews, but Dunnigan was able to get away from him.
Screen pass, there's nowhere to throw it. They played it perfectly. This is athletic ability. This is what we remember of Matt Dunnigan in his first couple years in this league. Make something out of nothing because he had absolutely nothing on that play. He turned it into a 5-yard gain.
Aaron Brown came in to make the tackle. It will be 2nd and 5. First man through. Parker is really hit by Aaron Brown. Wow, was there contact in that one?
You could hear it clear up here. I mean, when Aaron Brown filled the hole, he didn't mess around. When you try to trap up front, which the Lions like to do, that linebacker, in this case Aaron Brown, read it so fast. Watch him fill it. Number 53 sees the trap, but he's there, and the helmets collided. That's great defense.
Winnipeg General Manager Cal Murphy said that Aaron Brown isn't quite as physical as he was in their 1984 Grey Cup year. I think Tony Parker might dispute that statement by the Winnipeg GM.
Yeah, he's not going to believe it if he ever hears that comment again.
Movement at the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag flies, and if that is an offside call against Winnipeg, it will give the Lions a first down.
I think it's against the Lions. Oh, nope.
Offside. Winnipeg. First down.
3:36 the time remaining. You'll see the movement at the bottom of the screen. Rod Hill moved too quickly.
Unless that ball snapped while Rod Hill's in that area, that no man's land, he can come back. I thought for sure he got back, and I thought the Lion was offside. I guess they didn't see it that way.
Rod Hill certainly did not make contact.
That's right, no contact.
So the BC Lions retain possession. They have a first down at the 53-yard line. Benny Thompson getting sent to blitz. Penalty flag again. And once again, Thompson did not make contact, and it appeared as though he had vacated that 1-yard no man's land.
The only way, this is a tough call again. I know Benny Thompson's right up in the line of scrimmage, but unless the center snaps the football at the time you're in that area, there's no penalty if you go back out of it before the ball snaps.
Consecutive offside calls against Winnipeg. The BC Lions looking at 1st and 5 now from the Winnipeg 53-yard line. Tony Cherry, the ball carrier, he'll be very close to a first down. He runs hard every time.
Sure does, and this time it took the linebacker, Delbert Fowler, to come underneath and submarine him.
The score is tied at 14 with 2:55 remaining in the first half. Short yardage, and did Parker make it?
Not quite. He's not going to make it on this one. It's another great effort again by that middle, and I think mainly the linebackers. Watch him try to come over the top. Watch him get hit. Takes the hit straight on. I think it was West that hit him in midair, and then finally Thompson gets in on it, but it was West that knocked him down, knocked his momentum away from him, and then the rest of them do the job.
One of the problems when a back leaves his feet, as so many do in those short yardage situations, once that initial momentum is stopped, you have no drive.
No, you can't use your legs. You know, they say you use your legs as a ball carrier for power, but if they're not on the ground, you can't use them.
So the BC Lions, with 2:38 remaining in this first half, are looking at a 3rd and less than a yard. And with the ball at the Winnipeg 48-yard line, they are going after it.
You want to bet on who carries this one?
Matt Dunnigan, the quarterback, he'll keep. He's got it.
Ducked right in behind his right guard, Jamie Buis, and got right ahead, got a shoulder pass forward, and made the first down.
He's got two rather large gentlemen in front of him going to the right. Jamie Buis at 6'4", 260, and Larry Clarkson, who stands 6'7" and weighs almost 300 pounds.
At least 300. He's going to be a big kid when he matures.
First and 10 for the Lions. Dunnigan swinging it out to Tony Cherry, looking for a block. He fumbles the football, and I think he was able to get it back. If Petway had not taken the feet out from under Tony Cherry with that acceleration of his on the sidelines, he was gone.
Yeah, this is a good example of that running screen. Watch, the ball's in his hands. Now look outside. He's already got the lineman in front of him. Jan Karinci's there to make a block. You see number 65, Roper, out there to help him out. But the bigger, I'm sorry, that's Sinclair, but Roper should be there too. It should be the guard, tackle, and center on that side.
First and 10 from the 35. It's Cherry again. This time, he is stopped after picking up about a yard. Delbert Fowler and Stan Mikolas made the tackle. Well, these teams started the ball game with emotions running very high. They have now settled down and are playing football as you suggested they would.
Well, you look forward to a big game, you know, and the quarterbacks aren't normally like that because they don't get hit. But everybody else is so anxious to get out there and hit somebody and knock them around and get the game going. The emotions are high in the early part of the game.
Key second down play here for the Lions from the 34, second and 9. Dunnigan forced out of there, trying to screen. Mikolas was applying the initial pressure, and the ball bounced away from the intended receiver.
They sent the screen to Cherry, and Ramel Andrews, 76, read it perfectly, and when Cherry caught the football, Andrews was there to smack him and not allow him to hang on to it. Good defense. I don't think Matt liked that call.
Lou Passaglio will attempt to put the BC Lions ahead with a field goal from 41 yards out. And he is kicking into that wind that is blowing from out of the southwest.
I don't know if he can reach it.
It's wide. And in the end zone, James Jefferson is going to concede a single point, but he is taking a lot of time off that clock in running around back there before finally giving up the 1 point that puts the BC Lions ahead on the missed field goal attempt by Lou Passaglio. I didn't think he'd be able to reach the end zone.
I didn't either. I was surprised he did. That is a 41-yard kick. They couldn't do it in warm-up. I guess the adrenaline's a little more at work during the game.
1:05 remaining in the half. Tim Jesse straight ahead for a gain of a couple of yards. James Parker was there to stop Jesse from going any further. 1:01 remains in the half. It will be 2nd and 8 Winnipeg.
The Bombers had Buster Rhymes split out wide. Therefore, there's nobody to cut that backside defensive end off, and he made the tackle.
Salisbury loses the football. The BC Lions, Brian Delaway has got it. They're ruling it an incomplete pass. They say that Salisbury was in the act of throwing when the ball was knocked away from him.
He was trying to go deep. He was looking deep. Let's see what happens. He's looking for Buster Rhymes downfield. Woo. Pretty close call. Very close. I thought he was pulling it down. The referee rolled his arms going forward. So anyway, it's an incomplete pass.
Again, just one man back. Anthony Drawhorn awaiting this kick by Bob Cameron. Let's see if the BC Lions try and go after it. Pressure up the middle, and Cameron managed to get it away. John Ulmer was coming up the middle and came close to getting that Bob Cameron kick. And Drawhorn is brought down at the 23-yard line by Ken Haley and Michael Allen. A 61-yard kick by Cameron. There's also a flag on the play down at the BC 15-yard line.
Vernon Paul made a great block as Ulmer was coming through on that punt.
Objectionable conduct. BC number 39.
A very entertaining 30 minutes of football. Dunnigan setting up the screen to Cherry. He doesn't need much help, and he gets that for a first down. A block on Benny Thompson that enabled him to get up close to the 20-yard line.
You know, Don, we talk about Grey Cup week in Ottawa. The Ottawa Rough Rider alumni like Whit Tucker, Ron Stewart, even Larry DeMelli, an ex-Saskatchewan, they got these people involved, and they did a tremendous job selling out everything.
Dunnigan's pass is complete to Williams. to the 45-yard line with 24 seconds remaining, a gain of 42 yards.
James Jefferson at that corner, he gambled a little bit and went inside of him. Watch him. Comes on this side of him, they throw it to the inside. Williams makes the reception. Now, this guy got great speed. I didn't think he was that fast.
Dunnigan going to the sidelines, and it was a low throw intended for Streeter. It will be 2nd and 10 with 17 seconds remaining.
Boy, when Williams turned inside, that long stride hit was eating up some yardage.
Well, they don't often talk about the speed of David Williams. They refer to his exceptional jumping ability as one of the reasons he has been so successful this year. But on his touchdown run and on that throw for 42 yards, he showed that he's rather fleet of foot.
And something else, Don, we always say he either catches a quick hitch or goes deep. His quick post for the touchdown and his hook there, he can run past him.
The ball is fumbled on the draw play, and I believe Tony Cherry managed to get it back.
I think Winnipeg's going to have to call timeout here, or the BC Lions will run out to half with 12 seconds. Let's see what happens.
12 seconds, the time remaining in the first half. And the BC Lions are simply going to run out the clock. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers did not call a timeout. Here you see the exchange on our reverse angle camera between Dunnigan and Cherry was fortunate that he was able to get it back. Dunnigan, the final play of this half. And you saw Williams attempt to out-jump the two defenders for that football as Dunnigan looked towards the end zone. Jefferson and Thompson were back covering on David Williams, and that is the end of the opening half here at Lansdowne Park, with the BC Lions leading the Winnipeg Blue Bombers by a single point. As Trevor Kennard gets set now to get the second half underway. The Bombers going against the wind. Drawhorn on the kickoff return. Excellent run. He's into Winnipeg territory at the 48-yard line, brought down there by Ken Petway.
Well, what we've learned about Drawhorn, Anthony Drawhorn in his rookie year out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas, is an excellent return man. He stepped in for Larry Crawford when Crawford was injured, but watch this. Waits on the bounce. Now, find a hole, and he does. And watch him accelerate right now. There's a time to accelerate on the kickoff, and that's when you see the opening, and he did it.
1st and 10 BC. The ball is at the Winnipeg 47-yard line. The fake reverse. Cherry carrying the ball. And Cherry didn't fool that Winnipeg defensive unit as Delbert Fowler was over there with help from Michael Gray to make the tackle. There's also a penalty flag on the play. BC faked the reverse. Cherry managed to pick up a couple of yards.
Major foul, face mask, Winnipeg number 72, first down.
And that's one of the reasons that Tony Cherry was so upset. Delbert Fowler obviously had him by the face mask.
That's a tough penalty to take. You know, when you're making a tackle or something, you just reach out and grab anything you can. Sometimes it's the face mask. I'm sure Delbert Fowler didn't intentionally mean to do that, but it happens.
First down, Dunnigan being pursued, still on his feet, gets away from Nicholas, and then is bounced out of bounds on the far side of the field, and there's a penalty flag on the play. There isn't much room with the new stands that have been added on the far side between the sidelines and the seating area, and Dunnigan was knocked into those portable stands by Rod Hill, and this was a result in another penalty against Winnipeg.
No, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg number 53, first down.
Well, it's a sprint to the left. Doesn't like it. Gets a little pressure now. He uses his ability again. Watch him turn the corner like a running back. Here comes the hit right here. Rod Hill hits him, knocks down Pasaglia's kick a net, and into the portable stands.
Well, it was Rod Hill that made the contact with Dunnigan. They called the penalty against Aaron Brown. Dunnigan again gets away from Nicholas, can't find anybody, and he's dropped for a loss by Benny Thompson.
David Williams felt he was wide open in the end zone. He's down there holding his hands up in the air. But you know what? When you're running for your life as a quarterback, you can't see everybody. He's looking for somebody. You can see him looking, but he does a wise thing. If he tries to throw that ball in, there were a lot of blue jerseys. He took a heck of a hit from Benny Thompson.
That takes the ball back to the 21-yard line. 2nd and 18. 13:32 remaining in the third quarter. Dunnigan over the middle. It is incomplete. Intended for Jan Carinci coming out of his slot back position.
Boy, and he had him open too. If he could have thrown that ball on target, Carinci had found a hole inside of Ken Petway and in front of Thompson. And take a look at Carinci coming off. Look at him coming across the middle. He has got some room, just a little bit too far for him to be able to reach out and grab it.
So it is 3rd and 18 from the 21-yard line. Carinci will hold for Lou Pasaglia on this field goal attempt of 28 yards. Rod Hill again trying to block it, but he could not get there as Lou Pasaglia puts it free, and BC leads by 4. And coming into this Grey Cup game, Winnipeg felt that to counteract the many offensive weapons Dunnigan has to work with, they had to put pressure on him early in the ball game. They have been going after him.
And keep after him. You know, Dunnigan's the type of guy that could beat you just on any one play, so you can't let up on a guy like Dunnigan.
Winnipeg deciding to scrimmage from the 35-yard line rather than have BC kick off. The screen pass to Tony Johns. Johns continues fighting out to the 41. That will be a gain of 6.
Well, they came back with that play that they ran in the first quarter. It's that little bootleg fake and then the screen to Tony Johns off of it. This time he almost was going to get hit underneath and he escaped it. I don't know. I thought the dances took place after the game.
James Murphy was having quite a time trying to break away from his coverage. 2nd and 4. Winnipeg movement at the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag. Salisbury takes a hit as he had his arm cocked and was preparing to throw, but the whistle had gone. A procedure call against Winnipeg. There was movement along the line of scrimmage.
Everybody was moving. The offense and the defense. You saw the defense offside. So it must have been the offensive line is what they call. Somebody moved.
Mike Riley is waiting for the official announcement.
Procedure. Winnipeg number 64. Line. 3rd down.
The call goes against Bob Molly, so with BC having the option, they decline the penalty, and Winnipeg is forced to kick. Molly missed most of the season because of a knee injury. He came back late in the year. Many didn't think that he would be able to play at all this season.
That was a big plus for the Bombers, too, especially when Walby went down. That allowed him to move Rhoda Huskers out to where he's more familiar at tackle.
Carinci and Wiseman are back for this 3rd down kick by Cameron, not showing a great deal of respect. They stand at their own 40-yard line.
Oh.
And Cameron kicks it over their head, surprisingly, and it takes the Winnipeg bounce. Wiseman has to go back to the 12-yard line, and then he's down at the 10. Ken Haley was the first man downfield. Leon Hatziano also in the play. That was a 51-yard kick, a loss of 4 on the attempted return.
Well, you know, we've talked about Bob Cameron all year, and the thing that the BC Lions should know is this. If he hits the ball coming up through with his foot and hits it right into a perfect spiral, it'll go against the wind. And you got to remember this, it's easier to come up on a ball than go back. Those some baseball days.
11:56 is the time remaining in this third quarter. On the crutches, that's Chris Walby, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' big offensive tackle, who was hurt late in the season. Cherry, the ball carrier, driving out to the 18-yard line, stopped by Delbert Fowler, the linebacker.
An excellent block by Larry Clarkson, the right tackle for the BC Lions. Came around the guard and trapped to the inside. An outside in trap, and Cherry hit right up in behind him.
2nd and 3, BC. The pitch to Cherry, looking for some blocking help, and then trying to go to the outside of it for a first down. Again, that very limited area on the sidelines causes some problems as Cherry ran into those portable stands that have been erected to bring seating capacity at Lansdowne Park up to 50,000 for this Grey Cup game.
He's going to be a little bit over a yard away. I believe right now, punt the football. You have the wind at your back. He is a little more than a yard. There it is. We talk about the toss. This is one of their favorite plays. Parker tries to make a block on the outside force man. In this case, it was Darrell Sampson. Now, Sampson doesn't make the tackle, but he forced Cherry to give ground. And when he gave ground, that caused him to come up a little over a yard.
And the BC Lions are going for it. This could be a very big play right here. Dunnigan keeps. He's not going to make it.
Exactly right, Don. You said a big play. He had never had a chance. He had over a yard to go for the first down, and you could see in your picture Benny Thompson and James West sneaking out. They're coming up inside. You'll see him appear. He tries to go straight ahead. No room. Michael Gray got great penetration, and then everybody else finishes him off. So instead of kicking a football downfield, they give up great. There they are, right up on the line of scrimmage. You see the lead. Takes it away, and now he has no chance. Excellent defense by the Bombers.
So the Bombers force it, and they take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. BC in front by 4. Salisbury swinging it out to Tim Jesse. Excellent move by Jesse. He'll get the first down.
A little deke, a little fake to the inside, and then turn on the afterburners, and he went outside of Parker. Excellent play. Left him standing still.
Well, I prematurely said he had the first down. He's about 2.5 yards short.
Watch him just throw it out to Jesse. Try to get him some blocking in front. Now watch this move right here. Little hesitation, and then just run away from him and leave him laying there. Good job.
2nd down, Winnipeg. Salisbury's pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's about the 3rd time this afternoon that the BC Lions have knocked down an attempted pass by Salisbury. I believe it was Walter Ballard who got a hand on the throw.
Well, you know, if the defensive lineman can recognize it, that's the key to that. It's a quick pass. He's only taking 3 steps. If the defensive lineman can read the drop, they will stop their rush and get their hands up. When he takes 3 steps, you're never going to sack him, but you can knock the ball down.
Well, that failed 3rd down gamble is not going to prove nearly as costly as it might have been. A 20-yard field goal attempt by Trevor Kennard. It's good. So with 9:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter, again, it's a 1-point ball game. BC Lions scrimmage 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. The Lions in this 3rd quarter with the wind at their backs were hoping to put points on the board. Dunnigan throwing deep down the sidelines. It's intercepted by Rod Hill.
You know, we talked about Rod Hill's covering ability with Cal Murphy and Mike Riley earlier in the season. They say he sticks very close to the defender, or to the receiver. Now look at this. He knows where he is. He's running stride for stride, and when that ball goes up, he went up and got it first. Got him on that hip pocket, and he made a great play. So again, good field position.
So Rod Hill gives the Bombers the ball at the 26-yard line. Salisbury trying to take advantage, looking to the end zone. Oh! In and out of the arms of Buster Rhymes.
Can't really blame Rhymes. That was good coverage. Excellent coverage downfield. I believe it's Marcus Thomas again with that big right hand got up in front of him. And, you know, I know Rhymes feels he should catch it, but watch this. He got it. He tipped the ball. The ball hit his leg and then bobbled for him, but really Thomas knocked it down.
Marcus Thomas, a late season addition to the BC Lions. In the lineup in place of the injured Larry Crawford, coming up with a big play there, knocking it away from Buster Rhymes. 2nd and 10 Winnipeg. The ball is at the BC 26. There appears to be some confusion on the part of the Bombers. Salisbury got it away just in time. End zone incomplete.
James Murphy the intended target that time.
They're really trying to confuse Salisbury. They had those linebackers and Rick Ryan moving up and back all the time. It ended up to be man-to-man coverage. When you see the backs step up close to the line, they're anticipating a safety blitz, and then they didn't come. Again, Murphy's got more speed than Gooch. Very fortunate that this wasn't a touchdown. It just faded too far out. Quarterback throws the ball to fade over the defender's head to the sidelines, but I think it just went out of bounds.
Trevor Kennard, his 4th field goal attempt. It's wide, but it will go for a single point, and this game is tied at 18 with 3:45 remaining in the third quarter.
But the big thing, Don, the BC Lions got the wind advantage. They haven't been at the other end of the field except for that long field goal try that was blocked. So, I mean, the Bombers have everything going their way right now.
Well, we haven't had the points of the 1987 Grey Cup game, won by Edmonton, 38-36, but this one has been every bit as exciting, every bit as entertaining. Well, this is what the BC Lions have done. They have not been able to move that football as easily as they did at stages in the second quarter. This is Tony Cherry, the ball carrier again, stopped by Darrell Sampson. And they are going to be about a yard short of a first down once again. Now remember, earlier in this third quarter, they gambled back at their own 20-yard line, didn't make it. This time, they are going to send in the kicking unit.
You heard Coach Donovan tell Steve Armitage at the end of the first half, in order for them to win the football game, they got to get up under the pads. That means the offensive line's got to come up, get underneath the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and blow them off the line of scrimmage and run the football. And every time they tried it the third quarter, the Bombers have shut them down.
2:48 is the time remaining in the third quarter. Bisaglia with an excellent third down kick. Petway lets it bounce over his head and into the end zone. It will result in a single point BC. It rolls out of bounds in the end zone, and the BC Lions move in front by a single point. Right now, let's bring in Scott O.
Don, I had a chance to talk to Rod Hill about his interception of the pass intended for David Williams. As you know, James Jefferson is the man expected by the Bombers to cover David Williams most of this game. It was just the third time in the game that Williams has lined up on Hill's side of the field. The first time the Lions threw a pass to him against Rod Hill, they probably will not try it again. Hill said he was licking his chops because he knows David Williams' tricks when they played together on the Los Angeles Raiders strike team in the NFL last year.
86 yards, the length of that Lou Bisaglia single for a 19-18 BC lead. Winnipeg 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Draw play. Tony Johns running for a first down. Anthony Drawhorn made the tackle on Tony Johns. He played in last year's Grey Cup game, but with the Toronto Argonauts.
Everybody expects Jesse to carry, but look at the job the offensive line did. And then Tony Johns, not known for running ability, put an excellent move on Jeff Braswell and turned it into a big game.
1st and 10 Winnipeg. They are at the 50. This time it is Tim Jesse. He breaks one tackle, but can't get away from two other BC Lion defenders. Marcus Thomas was one of them, Kevin Konar another.
Got 4 yards with it, but the big thing, there's only 1 minute and 30 seconds now under that left with the wind advantage to the Lions, and they've done nothing with it. So the Bombers have things going their way if they don't make any mistakes.
Winning the toss may have been very key to the eventual outcome of this ball game.
Seems funny to be decided yesterday.
Second down, Salisbury's in trouble. He's down at the 40-yard line. Braswell will officially be credited with the sack, but it was Kevin Konar who got to him initially.
Well, you saw the outside pressure coming. Now the quarterback will see the pressure. Watch, he'll see it coming here. Now he knows he's in trouble. He's going to run away from it, but when he comes, now he's in trouble because he doesn't have the speed, and the secondary rusher is going to sack you.
.106 is the time remaining in the third quarter. Bob Cameron stands back at his own 28-yard line. Just one man back this time, and that's Anthony Drawhorn.
I think they're going to go after this.
That 20-second clock
ticking away, and the ball is snapped just in time. Drawhorn takes the ball at the 35, fumbles the football, and who's got it? Winnipeg.
They've self-destructed just about. The last 3 possessions we saw a block punt, or a block field goal, an interception, and a lost ball and downs. Now a fumble. They're hurting themselves.
I think it was Ken Haley who stripped the ball away from Drawhorn, and Wicklund appeared to get it.
Well, number 24 was the first one there.
Leon Hatziano was also in on the play, but it was Wicklund who recovered the ball, and Winnipeg retains possession. They are 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line with 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Salisbury with time, looking deep, and it's over the head of Buster Rhymes.
Won a little bit of an interference call, but I know the referee's going to say it was an uncatchable ball. It was over the head of everybody.
Ken Haley, the designated import for this Grey Cup game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He was the first man downfield on that tackle, on that punt that Winnipeg recovered.
You see, that's the dash play. You see Nick Pastaya is the guy outside blocking. Boy, he held the ball an awful long time.
Second and 10 from the 36. The draw play with Tony Johns. He isn't going to go anywhere. Kevin Konar is the first man to make contact. He has really played a strong game for the BC Lions.
They always play strong games for him. He's an outstanding football player. Has always been very underrated, a lot like Don Moan of the Toronto Argonauts. But you know, the big thing about it right now, the Winnipeg hasn't been able to do anything. The BC Lion defense is trying to take control while their offense is self-destructive.
Yes, Konar is one of those underrated players in the CFL, but he has really done a job for the BC Lions for the last few years and in this Grey Cup game. This will be the final play of the third quarter, barring penalty. BC leading by a 19-18 margin. It could be tied. It will be. Bob Cameron with another fine kick against that wind of 48 yards. And with 15 minutes remaining, the Lions and the Bombers are all even.
Here's to the everyday things that end up being everything. Here's to all things simple, with casual clothing and footwear from Marks.
Lions at their own 14-yard line. Dunnigan is being chased out of there at the screen. And Cherry falls as he reached back for that pass and gets to the line of scrimmage. And Aaron Brown and Mike Gray make sure he stays down.
They finally had the screen set. Finally. Watch it. Now he's got room to run, and as he turns, he trips and falls, and he comes out of it with a gain of about a half a yard. So this second down situation, second and long, the one area you don't want to be in, second and long. That lets him tee off on your quarterback.
.8:20 is the time remaining. Second and 9 for the BC Lions. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers trying to come up with another big defensive play here to force the Lions to kick the ball. If you're thinking about overtime, the last time and the only time a Grey Cup game has not been decided after 4 quarters was 1961, when in overtime Winnipeg beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Dunnigan throws the strike to Jan Carinci for a first down up to the 33-yard line.
And a key strike it was, Don. When you're looking at second down and 9 and you're throwing from your 5-yard line, you need that first down. And he delivered it right on the money to Carinci coming from left to right. Watch him throw that one. Right on the 2 and the 7. And it's a big first down for the Lions.
Many times you look back at a football game and count the number of second down conversions, they can tell you the story as to which team wins a ball game. Carinci again, he has been a favorite target all afternoon, up to the 45-yard line, stopped by Ken Petway.
Don, we've said many times, a quarterback gets paid to convert second downs. When you convert them, that's a first down, and it enables you to keep drives alive. And there was none bigger in this football game than that one that Dunnigan just hit to Carinci.
The BC Lions now at their own 45-yard line. 7:06 is the time remaining. Cherry stopped right at the line of scrimmage and driven back by Willie Fears.
They've tried a couple times to run the oldest playing football, just a straight-ahead dive, a pop, whatever you want to call it. He hit in there and tried to bounce outside. Fears got that hand underneath and just upset him.
Well, moments ago, we alluded to those second down conversions. Another one faces Matt Dunnigan.
Last time they didn't put the blitz on second and down and long. Let's see if they do this time.
Dunnigan with all sorts of time, can't find anybody. Knocked away by Darrell Sampson. Jan Carinci was the intended receiver, and the BC Lions will be forced to send out the punting unit.
The Lions wanted a pass interference call there, but I believe the ball was out of bounds anyway. No one was going to get it. Watch this. When he throws it, the wind's going to get it. Now, they want the interference call right here. They think that should be pass interference. Ball's batted out of bounds. The big thing, Dunnigan didn't take the sack. He got rid of the football. So really, he bought himself like 35 yards of field position when he converted that 1 second down.
6:24 is the time remaining. Good kick into the wind by Pisaglia. Petway takes it on the run at the 32-yard line, fumbles the ball, but got it back at the 35. 6:05 is the time remaining. Winnipeg 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Tim Jesse, the ball carrier. A gain of 4 before he is wrestled down. Anthony Drawhorn and Mac Moorer were there. Neither side has been able to do much in this second half. Only 9 points scored in the third quarter. And so far, neither side has been able to put a point on the board in the fourth.
I think it's a tribute to both defenses. They seem to be controlling the football game right now.
Salisbury rolls out of there. Throws down the sidelines. It's incomplete. He was looking for Ken Winey. And Andre Francis was over there defending against him. Greg Stuman was the linebacker who put the pressure on quarterback Sean Salisbury.
He put the pressure on him, and when he cocked the arm to throw the first time, Andre Francis was right with him. There was nowhere to throw the ball. Then when he pulled it down, then naturally Greg Stuman's going to get the pressure. But excellent coverage downfield. As we said earlier, both secondaries are great at one-on-one coverage.
The Lions put pressure on Cameron the last time he lined up in punt formation. Let's see if they go after him again. This one they almost hit again. This ball takes a bounce. Drawhorn watches it come back towards the line of scrimmage. And now looks for some blocking help, but he doesn't get any further than the 20-yard line. A 57-yard kick. But the BC Lions on the last two Bob Cameron punts have come very close to blocking it.
Watch Andre Francis, number 14. Watch this. If Bob Cameron's left-footed, it's blocked. He's very, very fortunate. You know the surprising thing here? As hard as the wind's blowing, you'd have thought that ball would have hit and just took off. It hit and came back.
4:47 is the time remaining with the score tied at 19. Williams on the sidelines. He was out of bounds. But we saw a demonstration there of his ability to go up and get the football, and that's all Dunnigan did was lob it up there.
Coach Bob Padilla was telling the other day at the breakfast, the Bomber breakfast, anytime you get one-on-one coverage, Williams and anybody, he's not just our corners, anybody, if it's one-on-one, Dunnigan will gamble and throw it up there because he's a great leaper, great basketball player. One-on-one, he'd go up and get it.
Well, that time clock now is all important. Here's the draw play with Dunnigan. He won't get the first down. Willie Fears and Ramel Andrews were able to recover. And the BC Lions will send out the punting unit again.
Well, the quarterback draw again. You see him leading. There comes Parker, tries to make a block. They're coming from the backside. They pull him down. And now he didn't convert a first down, which means he's going to give up great field position to the Bombers on this kick.
Just one man deep for Winnipeg on this Lou Pasaglia kick. It'll bounce back to the line of scrimmage, and it's taken by Michael Allen. And there's a penalty flag. No yards will be the call. Michael Allen has been such a key man all season on Winnipeg special teams, and that time, after the 14-yard kick, he caught at least 2 players within that 5-yard area.
He only weighs 165 pounds. I think he does a tremendous job for them.
No yard. BC number 21. First down.
So with only 3:56 remaining, Winnipeg has great field position.
You see the ball bounce back, and Allen, as you say, makes a heads-up play and grabs the football with 3 white jerseys inside that 5-yard area.
First and 10, Winnipeg at the 27. 3 receivers wide to the left. Draw play with Tony Johns. And he's stopped at the 25-yard line by Jeff Braswell.
Well, you really have pressure on you from an offensive standpoint when you're going against the wind in a tied or close ball game. You must convert second downs. The Bomber defense has finally got them the field position that they needed. Now it's up to the offense to put points on the board.
Second and 7, Winnipeg. The Bombers stay on the ground with Tony Johns. They wanted to make sure they retained possession of that football so that they could send out the field goal unit and allow Trevor Kennard to kick perhaps the winning field goal. He'll get that opportunity when we return. Trevor Kennard will be attempting his 5th field goal of the afternoon. He's been good on 3 of them.
I know what that defense is saying. If we ever block the field goal anytime ever, now is the time with 3 minutes left.
Well, Winnipeg was able to block a Lou Pasaglia field goal in the 3rd quarter. Kennard is able to put his foot on this one, and Winnipeg takes the lead.
Well, he's extremely accurate from in that range anyway, and you're either going to block it or he's going to make it.
Watch the reaction of 35-year-old Mike Riley. You know, it's interesting. He's younger than one of the players on his team, guard Nick Vistani.
That is kind of funny, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, the way I understand the article I read the other day, says he's the best coach he's ever played for.
He called him a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's right. They all like the way he handles the team, and they play well for him, and that's about all you care about. If the players will play hard, you do a good job.
Mike Riley attempting to do something in his 2nd year as CFL head coach that his father, Bud Riley, was unable to do, and that's win a Grey Cup.
Well, it's a great opportunity when you look with 2:55. He's in a pretty good position, but now for Pasaglia to get the field goal to tie it, he's going to have to kick from about the 27-yard line. I don't think he's going to have to go much further than that. If they don't get it up there, he'll never get the chance.
Well, I'm a little surprised that the Lions decided to have Winnipeg kick off. Michael Allen is down there to make the tackle with help from Paul Platney. And Tony Cherry did not get back to the 35-yard line where the BC Lions would have scrimmaged.
It's right on the 35. So they lost a couple seconds. I guess he fell forward, but that is surprising. 2:47, you're almost into 3-down football. You've got to move the football.
I initially didn't think he got back to that 35-yard line.
I didn't either.
Here's Cherry carrying the ball. He breaks into the clear. What a run by Tony Cherry. A 52-yard gallop.
While we talked about him being the game breaker that on first down he will be, Jamie Buis should be the guard that comes around that corner on a counter, and that was all individual effort once he clears the line of scrimmage. They got him into the secondary. You see Clarkson try to make a block, but watch the effort just by Tony Cherry. He just keeps fighting off tacklers. I think he just ran out of gas right here, and that enabled him to tackle, but what a game.
It's Cherry again. This time, the Bombers restrict his gain to about 4 yards.
You would have almost thought that after a 52-yard run, they would have given it to somebody else, but maybe they figured when he's hot, let him go.
I don't think he's sure who he should be cheering for. .208 is the time remaining. 2nd and 6 BC. Penalty flag. I think Winnipeg was offside. Williams was the intended receiver, but I think Winnipeg was offside.
Yeah. You see the reaction of Dunnigan. You know they were offside.
So the BC Lions will be looking now at 2nd and 1 with 1:55 remaining. That could prove to be an extremely costly penalty to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Very much so. Now, Matt Dunnigan's got to run the football here. Let's don't mess around if you're in his position. Run it. If you don't make it, kick the field goal. You may not ever get this close again.
The pitch to Cherry trying to get outside. He struggles and gets the first down.
That was all Cherry again, Don. It looked like he was going to be stopped behind the line. He looked like two guys. James West had a shot at him, and the first thing you know, as you say, he squirms and fights for a first down.
Well, James West came flying through there trying to stop Tony Cherry, but he used his exceptional athletic ability to get away from him.
Stepped away. Took on the hits and bounced through two of them to pick up the first down. Pasaglia may play a part for sure now. They're in range.
This is Cherry again. He picks up about 3. It will be 2nd and goal from the 7.
Boy, Larry Clarkson come through there like a big tank. And James West come up and took the legs out from under Clarkson and makes a tackle, or Cherry's going to score. There goes Clarkson. Watch this. He cuts him down and at the same time forces Cherry to leave his feet, or otherwise he may go into the end zone.
1:45 is the time remaining. Winnipeg leading 22-19.
1:45 on the clock. Here we go.
So this is the 2nd down play. Dunnigan looking into the end zone. It's deflected. Intercepted by Winnipeg's Michael Gray.
Defense wins football for you, and you won't get a bigger play in 1988 than that one. Matt Dunnigan threw it low. It's deflected, bounced in the air, and that man makes the interception, and that should just about do it. We're going to get a look at a straight drop back pass. Looking around, tries to throw it. Watch this. There's the tip. Delbert Fowler. The ball's bounced. There's Michael Gray. Great defense.
Well, the BC Lions were going for their win. That play may have cost them a victory or a possible, at least a tie. And Winnipeg now trying to take as much time as possible off that clock.
Well, I made a guess on a rollout runner pass. for a quarterback draw, but I didn't expect this. A straight drop back pass. Fowler tips it. Now what happens? It hits just about everybody, and finally, that high, somebody's going to get it. Michael Gray got it. The big thing he did is not go back to the end zone.
At the moment, Michael Gray is the Winnipeg hero. The second down play. Tony Johns, the ball carrier, and he wrapped both hands around that football, making sure he hung on. Now, it's a decision for Coach Mike Riley with 1:06 remaining.
Well, this is a decision. If you give them 2 points, you must kick off. Still with a minute left, the field goal could beat you. Cameron can kick the ball 60 yards, and you're going to have to cover. This is a big decision. We'll see what they do.
I'm sure the thoughts of possibly conceding a safety touch ran through the mind of head coach Mike Riley.
Well, the decision's made now.
The BC Lions called a timeout. Larry Donovan wanting to make sure his team knew exactly what they were to do on this third down play by Winnipeg. 1:06 remaining. Cameron stands in the end zone.
Even if you're going to return it, Don, you better make sure he kicks it in a hurry. Don't allow him to just stand there and let you get your coverage team downfield.
He's going to concede the safety touch.
No, he didn't get it off. 20-second clock.
You're right.
Yeah, the 20-second clock going on him.
Time count violation. Winnipeg number 6. Still third down.
Well, maybe they did that now. If they had any second chances or want to make another decision, that gives them another chance. That really didn't hurt them. No time went off the clock because there was a timeout. They're still 1:06.
Well, let's see what the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had planned. Yes, Cameron is going to concede that safety touch. And he's going to take some time off the clock before he does it. As a matter of fact, he runs partway up the stands at that south end of Lansdowne Park, or west end of Lansdowne Park. And 58 seconds remain, so it's a 22-21 ball game, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will kick off. 58 seconds on the clock. Trevor Kennard getting set to kick off, waiting for the signal from Jake Ireland. Drawhorn starts out from the 8-yard line. He's getting to the outside. And he ran out of room over on the far side of the field as he was pursued by Jefferson and Hatziano, but he still ran it back 40 yards with 49 seconds remaining. Now there's a penalty flag.
Well, it's a bad one, too. Anyway, Drawhorn gets good block. This whole commotion starts up here. Jefferson does what he has to do again, stay outside. Even though it's a big return, it's still Jefferson's responsibility to keep him in. What happened here is Paul Clatney got in a little fight with a guy. I think he took a swing at, and I thought it was Cherry, I'm not sure. But anyway, when the play was over, Cherry come up and took a swing at him. Now we're going to see what happens.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, BC number 24. First down.
Anthony Cherry gets called on that penalty with 49 seconds remaining.
You know, sometimes you take a punch during the ballgame. Clatney did hit him, but you cannot retaliate with the referee standing there. You're trailing 22-21 with 49 seconds on the clock. You just cannot do it.
The bulk of the scoring in the opening half. Who would have believed, the way these teams played the first 30 minutes, that they would only manage to score 14 points in the second half? Neither side able to put it in the end zone. Although the BC Lions made a fine effort there with David Williams looking for the reception on the throw by Matt Dunnigan, covered by James Jefferson. 45 seconds remain.
Lou Pasaglia would like to get a shot at winning this ball game for the BC Lions, but the tale of this game could be told on the upcoming play. It could be decided right here for Larry Donovan and his BC Lions. 2nd and 10.
I think he's got to try to get Williams in one-on-one coverage and look for Jan Carinci coming across the middle. Both receivers look to the wide side or short side of the field. Let's see what they do with it. Coming right back with Williams.
Incomplete. And it was Jefferson defending against Williams again. And Williams is unhappy. He thought there should have been a flag.
But this is it right now. It's now or never.
The pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage with 37 seconds remaining. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers should be able to run out the clock. Yes, over on that BC Lion bench, the expression on the face of head coach Larry Donovan and the players pretty well tell the story of the final seconds of this ball game, and it looks as though the Grey Cup will be heading for Winnipeg for the 2nd time. In the 1980s, they won in 1984. Sean Salisbury drops to a knee. 35 seconds remaining. Winnipeg all set to celebrate.
The big thing is the Lions have used their timeout. So Sean Salisbury can take this down to around 20 seconds. Kneel once, kneel again, and it's all over.
And for all you fans in Winnipeg, the Blue Bombers will be arriving home tomorrow afternoon at 1:03. And we're informed that on Tuesday, there will be a parade from Portage and Memorial to Main Street and then north to City Hall starting at 12 noon. That's on Tuesday. And the public reception is planned in the City Hall courtyard after the parade on Tuesday. Well, I think one of the happiest people in our viewing audience today resides out in the Okanagan Valley. That's Bud Riley, the father of the Grey Cup winning coach Mike. And this ball game is over. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the underdogs as they were last Sunday, have come through with a 22-21 Grey Cup victory.